see here what we need to do here. Here we need to design. See here the main component. See here I'm talking about the LWC component. We will create the parent component. If you see here this header, this icon, this edge, these options, this part I will move to the child component. Okay, and if you see here this one also I will move this to the child component. And if you observe here footer also I will create the child component. Yeah, so what I will do in the parent component, I will call this footer and header and main section. So yeah, in the real time also you have to think like that. So similarly in the LWC also we have to think like that. If you want to design a component, if you got any requirement, so you need to understand, okay, so how to design the components also. Okay, let's say for example in the Salesforce also, if you see here, if you go here, I will show you. Let me open the arc. Now I am open the arc. Let me open the sales application. This is the app launcher. See here, if you observe this one also, Salesforce is also this also developed by using the components. See here, if you observe here, so this logo, this edge, see here these icons, this is the header part, this is one component. If you observe here, this is one component. If you see here sidebar, this is one component. If you see here, this is the main thing what we are showing. This is the main component. Everything is developed using the component. So in the real time also, if you are designing, you need to decide. I mean, you need to think about the components. Don't think I need to develop as a one component. Let's say, for example, if you open any account, see here. I'm going to the detail page. If can anyone tell me how many components are available here? If you see here, so this is the account record page. In the account record page, how many components are available? How many components are available?
5.
Yeah.
So 5.
Yeah. If you see here, this one is the one component. If you see here, header component. If you see here, they are showing some icon, account name. They are showing some buttons here. They are showing some data only. Okay, this is one component. If you see here detail page is the another component. If you see here, this is the another component. So in this component have again the tabs. If you see here, I can see whenever a user click the tab, here see I am displaying another user interface. If you see here, if I click here, I am showing is another. But if you see here in this user interface also, in this tab also, we have multiple components. See here. If you observe here, got it? So we need to think like that designing, because it simplified the process. If you see here, if you want to design like this, see here when I click, yeah. So what we need to do here, if you go to here, so where is the base components? Let me go to the base components. See here, if you want to design the like this, I think we have a see here, we have a tab set. See here, if you go here, see here, they are giving the base component is the lightning tab set. See here, if you want to create like this, see here, I can switch to the whenever user click here, I need to show the item 1 related the UI. When I switch to the user item 2, I need to show the item 2. See here, they are this is the basic tab. So tab with see here scope variant. See here, lot of options they are see here. this kind of, see here. When I click here, see here, it is highlighting, it is hiding. See here. So when I click here, it is showing these two are hiding. See here. So based on the requirement, so we can use. So here, when I click here, here I will show, I will add the another component. When I click here, here I will add the another component. I will show the another component. When I click here, I will show you another component. Okay, so in the real time also we need to think like the components. So similar, just one question. Just if you want to carry the 100 kgs, 200 kgs at a time from some source to destination, yeah, we cannot do like that. Yeah, what we will do, we'll split the 100 kgs or 200 kgs into multiple parts. So we will move those splits to the from source to the destination. Why? Because why you are splitting? Why? For the easy. So similarly, in the real time also, if you got the complex problem or anything, don't try to solve everything in the one component. Try to, okay, try to break that component to the multiple parts. Then become, it's very easy. We can easily understand. Okay, yeah. Just I want to show you. Just I want to share with you. So that is the reason. Yeah, I explain this concept. Yeah. Yeah, while developing the projects, yeah, I will explain you how we need to do, how we need to think, how we need to break the big component into multiple parts like this. Yeah, how to design the components and how to simplify the development process. Yeah, that's everything. And if you see here, we are discussing the DML statements. So we already discussed the normal DML statements and database class statements. See here, we already discussed, we have database.insert. See here we need to pass the two parameters. So this all are, and it's optional. Okay, already I have shown you this one. So if you want to make partial success, suppose if you are inserting or updating 100 records, if any record fails, by default it is the true. Automatically all the inserted records are rolled back. So if you want to make partial success, if any one of the record fails, just it omits that record only. Rest of the records will be inserted into the database. Yeah. So if you want to track the records status, whether the given records are inserted. So if you want to get that record ID, if you got any error related to the record, so if you want to know that error ID, so we have to use mechanisms. So you need to remember database.insert will always returns the database.save result. This is the return type. What we need to do, this is the array. We need to loop. So just I want to show you this example. If you see here, let me show you. Go to the setup. Okay. Go to the object manager. In the account, just I am creating one field. Let's take it new field. Okay, here I am taking the text field. See here, I am taking you can take whatever you want based on the requirement. Yeah. But as upon creating the text field, here I am giving the some sample text. Okay, so here I'm giving the length is 255. I'm removing the underscores. The API name. Is here I am making it required. Okay, but it's required whenever the user is entering the account record, here the sample text is required. So that is the reason here I enable this checkbox. Okay, so just next. I'm adding the field to the sample text today. Now let's go to the here. Where is your script file? See here, we already created the DML.apex. So as of now, I am commenting everything. Okay. If you see here, just I want to insert account records. Okay, I want to insert account records. See here, I am copying this example instead of typing and everything. It's a basic example we already know. See here what I am doing here. Here I am creating. See here account. Here I have taken the account list. In the account list, here I have taken. Here I am adding the account list. See here like this. Okay. Here I will change something DML test one. If you see here, I am giving DML test two. Okay. So if this is the normal DML statements, what we are doing here, we are inserting. See here, we already know this concept, but I don't want to use like this. So what we need to do here for the first, see here, for the second account record, so I am giving that field. So what is the field name? See here, sample text. Okay, it's a required field. Okay, for the first account record, I am giving, see here, sample data. Here I'm giving the sample DML test one. Okay, I'm copying this one multiple times. So here I am changing 2 and 3. Okay, here I am also changing 2 and 3. Okay, if you see here, so for this, but wantedly I am omitting this required field. Here I am not adding anything record. Okay, so all these 4 accounts are added into the list. So I want to perform the DML operation. So see here, so we are inserting bulk records. So in this case, what we need to do here, instead of normal DML statements, because why we need to use the database dot insert instead of this normal DML statement, because I want a partial success. See here, we will get the error because here we are missing the required fields. In the normal DML statement, what will happen? All the records insertion will be rolled back. But I don't want that scenario. Just I need a scenario even to while inserting any error happens, just I need to skip that record only. The rest of the record should be inserted into the database. If you want to implement this kind of scenario, so what we need to do here? Here we need to simply database. If you type the insert, see here, just database dot. See here, it is showing a lot of methods. Okay, you can use whatever you want. Okay, now I am using here. You need to remember, see here, database dot insert always returns. See here, return type is, if you see here, whenever a mouse over on the insert method, see here, what is it is showing?
All or nothing.
No, not nothing. Yeah. See, here I mouse over, see here,
So,
it is saying what are the parameters we need to pass, and for this method, what is the return type also? Can anyone tell me what is the return type? What is the return type for this insert here? What is the return type?
Database dot save results.
Yeah, see here, it is showing already database dot save results. See here, here it is showing the list, but in the documentation, see here is a square bracket. Okay, but if you see here, but don't use the square bracket. Of course, you can use, but I will use like this list database dot save result. Okay, save result list. Is it make sense? Is it make sense or not? Is it make sense or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can write like this also, but in the documentation, you have given the square bracket. Square bracket is also nothing but the array. Okay, this is also a list. But my suggestion is use this kind of syntax. Don't use this kind of syntax. But I don't know why Salesforce documentation they have given like this, but we have a collections. Okay, so use the collections. What we need to do after that? Yeah, I need
Shiva, one question. Yeah. So, like in this, you have written database dot insert in brackets account list comma false.
yeah,
So, what does this false signify?
yeah. If you see here, it's optional parameter. If I remove this one, by default, it is the true. Okay,
Oh, okay.
all or none. It's a if you see here documentation, database. One second, I want to open database. Apex, yeah. Yeah, if you see here, we someone is typing. Yeah, yeah. If you see, Harsha, yeah. If you see here, all or none. So that parameter name is all or none.
All or none. Okay,
All
okay.
or none. Okay, yeah.
Got it.
It's a optional parameter. See here, I am opening this method. See here, all or none in the document they mention optional. It's not mandatory. If I didn't mention that parameter, by default it will take the true.
Okay.
Okay, what will happen here? If you see here, I am inserting bulk records by using the database dot insert. What will happen here if I didn't mention all or none? See here in the first it insert the first record successfully. Second record inserted into the database, not fully into the database, partial database. See here in this third record, I am getting the error. I will get the error because this is the required field, but here I didn't mention here. So what will happen here? So entire transaction is rolled backward. These records also will not be saved permanently in the database. But so you want the partial success. If you want to the partial success means here I will give the false. In this scenario, what will happen? These two records are inserted. If here we are getting the error, what it will do? It will omit this one. Next, it go to the next this record. These all DML test 1, DML test 2, DML test 3, all three records are inserted into the database. It keeps only the error record. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank
If
you.
you want a partial success, then here you want to mention false. If you don't want to partial success, just simply omit this parameter. So what it will, if any error got in the transaction, automatically all the transaction related records are rolled back. Those are not updated to the database. But if you need a partial success, then use the false parameter. Okay. So when we use this database dot insert will give the result into the database dot save result. Database dot save results. Okay. Means we are doing the implementing the partial success. In which record we got the success, in which record we got the error. I want to track all these things. So for that scenario, here what I am doing here, I am saving in the list database dot save. After that, what I need to do here? Here I need to loop database dot save result. Okay, SR. Okay, colon. So all the information is stored in this list. So I want to loop. Okay, yeah. If you see here, if you go to the documentation, okay, if you see here, database dot save result, we are having each success method. Okay, if the record is inserted or updated, deleted success, see here, if it is true, then I am getting the inserted or updated or getting the record ID. For that, we need in the SR database dot save result, we have a method get ID. We will get the successful record ID. So we want to check whether the inserted, updated, or deleted record is success or not. We have a eSuccess method. This method is part of database dot save result. You need to remember these things. So that is the reason. See here, SR I am using the object dot is success. This SR is the object. Okay, the same functionality. I am going to copy these things, but I don't want to type anything. See here, just I will explain you in the real time also. If you want to implement this kind of functionality, come here, copy it and paste it. See here, here change if you give any other name, just change the variable names according to your requirements. That's all. You don't need to remember all the thing, but just you need to remember one thing. So database dot insert or update or delete, return type is database dot save result. You need to remember. In the save result, we have a success method. See here. Here I am getting the successfully inserted account record. If you see here in the else part, see here. If it comes to the third record, see here it is failed. Then it will come to the see here database dot error. Here I created the error object. See here this object sr dot get errors. We have a method. This is the array. Okay, it will store in the database dot error. See here by using the error object. See here get status code. Okay, what error? What is the status code of the error? See here error dot get message. See here we can error dot get fields. In which field we got the error, we can track all the information by using these methods: get status code, get messages, and get fields. Okay. Okay, got it or not? Yeah. Now I am going to run this this snippet. If you see here, account list I added here. Here I made it false. See here I am looping and everything. So here I am tracking each and everything. Okay. Let me run this snippet. Here I am running this snippet. Execute. Command shift V. Here we have a command. See here, execute anonymous apex. Okay. Yeah. Now the execution is done. If you see the debug logs, see here. If you see the debug log, see clearly observe here. Okay. See here, successfully inserted account ID. See here. Okay. Successfully inserted account here. See here in the third record. See here, following error occurred. Okay. See here, required field missing. See here, required field. See here, it is giving the clear information. See here in the third record. See here, even though this third record is failed, see here, rest of the records are inserted successfully. Okay, got it or not? Any doubts here? If you go to the R, if I go to the sales, if I go to the accounts, if you see here, if you go to the all accounts name is, if you see here, DML test 1, DML test 2, DML test 3. So this is record as not inserted. Say it is error. Even though, so in the bulk processing, any error happens, it don't omit the all the records. It skips the only this record. Rest of the records are see here. DML process is success. See here, that is the advantage of the database.insert all are non-parameter. Okay, got it or not here? Any doubts here? It's very, very important. So here, see here, we are tracking the information also. So if it is a success, we are getting the success account ID record. So not only in case of account, you can apply this concept for any object, standard or custom. You can see here in the errors also, it is clearly showing on the which field we are getting the error. See here, required field, clearly it is giving the information. See here. Okay, that is the advantage of the database.insert. Any doubts here? It's a very, very important. In the real time, regularly we will use these things while applying the DML operations on the bulk records. Okay, any doubts here? Any questions here?
No.
Okay, is everything is clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, but see here, this is the snippet. You don't need to manually type. I already told you, just go to the documentation, copy paste it. Let's say, for example, here I have given, see here, a simplified SR list. Just copy it. See here. Okay, let's say here I have given as civil SR. Just change the variable names only. Okay, that's all. You don't need to remember these things. Yeah, simple. That's all. Yeah, just come here, copy it. So this is called boilerplate code. Can anyone tell me what is the boilerplate code? What is the boilerplate code? Anyone know about the boilerplate code? In interview also they will ask what is the boilerplate code. What is the boilerplate code?
Like it's a template type of thing.
Yeah, it's a sample or a snippet.
Sample
Yeah,
code.
you don't need to write that thing. Just we will use that. We will copy paste that things. That is called a boilerplate codes. If you see here in my LWC development, also see here. So this is the boilerplate code. Just we are using this boilerplate code instead of typing and everything. Just according to our requirement, we will change the data and something. We will customize it. Yeah. Okay. So in the real time also, we while developing the project and everything, we need to follow the standards and we need to implement the productivity techniques. Then only development will become the faster. Okay, so that is the reason already base code is available, boiler template code is available. You don't need to remember these things. Just study it, understand it. That's all. You don't need to remember lightning, hyphen tab set, variant, those things. Yeah, just you need to study it, understand it. Just copy it and paste it according to your requirement. Change it. Okay, these are called boiler template codes, snippets. You don't need to write the single line of code, just copy it and paste it. Okay, so yeah. Any doubts here? Can I go to the next topic?
Yes.
Yeah. And if you see here, insert, we have a lot of methods. If you observe here, uh, see here, we found another one, access level. See here, this is also very, very important. If you see here, this insert also always it returns the database, return type is database dot save result. Okay, this insert is the static method, so that is the reason. See here, we are calling this insert method with the class name instead of the object name. And but if you see here we need to pass. If you observe here, we need to pass. See here, we need to pass. See here. Here we are passing records to insert. Similarly, see here we are list of records passing. Second one is a Boolean all or none. It's an optional thing. I already told you it's an optional thing. And you need to remember this third parameter also, system.access level. Access level is also optional. It's not mandatory. Whenever they say optional, okay. So based on the requirement, we can add or remove. Okay. If you see here, we have given this all or none. But what about this one? System.access level. So what is, see here? They have given two options for the access level. See here. One is access level dot system mode. Second one is access level dot user mode. Okay. See here, can anyone tell me how Apex will run? Is it run in the system mode or user mode? It's a
System mode.
also, yeah. By default, Apex always runs in the system mode. But sometimes we need to run the code in the user mode. Okay. Similarly, see here in the insert method also, now it is run in the system mode. Am I correct or not? Okay. But if you want to run it in the user mode, simply what we need to do here, you need to specify, just copy it, just paste it. Yeah. Now tell me, when I specify access level dot user mode, then what will happen? Can anyone tell me? See here, read the documentation. In the system mode, the object and field level permissions of the current users are ignored. By default, automatically what it will do, it will ignore the object and field level permissions for the current user. But when you specify the access level dot user mode and record sharing also, okay, in the user mode, it will consider the object permissions, field level security, and sharing rules of the current users are enforced. By default, it is the system mode. Okay, similar to all or none, by default true. Similar to if you omit the access level dot user mode, what is the user mode by default?
System
Ah,
mode.
level dot system mode. If you want to run this insert in the user mode, simply just copy it here. You don't have to remember these things also. Just come here, copy it and paste it. That's all. Yeah. So whenever we apply access level dot user mode, see here. Can anyone tell me what is this user mode? What is this user mode? Can anyone tell me what is this access level? What is access level? If you know the basics of object-oriented programming, it's easy. What is that? Yeah, what is that? I am saying access level. I'm copying this thing and pasting here, but we should know what is this access level, what is this user level.
Access level signifies the read, edit, update operations if the user can do or not
Yeah,
on
but
an
that
object.
is okay. But I'm
Hmm.
expecting the correct terminology. If you see here, database is a class. You need to tell it's a class. If you see here, insert is a method. See here, but insert method I am calling with the class. See here, clearly they have given. See here. So if you see here, it's a static method. So the basic of object-oriented programming. Whenever the method is static, then we can call this method with the class name. Similarly, we are calling with the class name only, database.insert. So I am also expecting this one. What is the access level and what is the user mode?
So access level is a class and a user mode is a variable. That is static variable.
Yeah, if you see here, yeah, it's correct. Yeah, the access level is a class. User mode is a, see here. This is the mentioned in the caps. You clearly observe with the underscore. Access level is a class. User mode is a variable. It's a static variable. If you see here, if you go to the Apex, Apex. See here, I'm copying this one, access level. Go to the documentation. See here. Yeah, if you see here, access level properties. Access level having the methods properties. Now I want to go to the properties. See here, we have a system mode. Okay. Okay, we have a user mode. Just we are discussing about the user mode. If you see here, user mode. See here, user mode. Okay, what they mentions here. See here, this user mode is available in which class?
System.access level.
System.access level. See here, what the user mode and system mode. Okay, what is this?
Getter method.
Why they didn't give the set? Why they have given the only get? Can anyone tell me why they have given the get? Why they didn't give the set? So these are the properties, variables, correct? Yeah. These are the static. We are the reason we are accessing. See here, these are developed by the Salesforce. They are not allowing set the value to this by the user. Just you can access it. Okay. This internal implementation they are hiding. Okay. What they are doing, see here, whenever we are whenever we are specify the access that user mode, okay, so they have behind the scenes they will check the object and field levels and sharing rules and everything behind the scenes. You don't need to bother about that logic. Salesforce is handling. Just you need to simply specify access level dot user mode. Okay, behind the scenes. So when you specify this one, when you are inserting behind the scenes, Salesforce, what it will do, it will check the current login user having the object access or field access or sharing of the account record, our thing. So everything is checked by the Salesforce only. Okay. We did not write a single piece of code for everything. Just they have given this variable. Simply we need to use these things only. Okay, got it or not? Yeah. This is the class. See here. This is the class, and these are the variables. Okay, see here. Properties. We have a methods also. See here. See here we have a methods also. We have a see here with permission set ID. See here they have given the example. Okay, yeah. Got it?
Sir, I didn't get the reason why they are not getting giving the setter method. Is it like defined by this like apex, or is it a final map variable? That's why they are
In
not.
it is defined by the apex. In the apex, see here, they are not allowing to modify this property, this variable. So that is the reason we can get only, but we cannot set. Okay. So that is the reason they have given the get. But in our class, in our variable, we can write get or set also. But this is developed by the Salesforce. But they won't allow to modify this variable. So that is the reason they have given only get. You can get this value. But behind the scenes, they are setting and everything. They have implemented the logic. That logic hidden. Behind the scenes, it will run. Behind the scenes, what it will run? Just we are simply specifying access level dot user mode. It will check the current user having the object permissions, field level permissions, sharing rules, everything behind the scenes. Salesforce automatically will check. Okay. Yeah. We don't need to worry about these things. Yes, similarly, see here, if you are inserting in the record in a Salesforce, deleting, updating in the record Salesforce, behind the scenes, Salesforce have a mechanism. We already know order of execution. Okay. Everything is implemented by the Salesforce platform. As a developer, you need to write just insert code only. You don't need worry about the order of execution. Okay, that complex part, complex thing, and everything is behind the scenes implemented by the Salesforce platform. Just they are giving the library. See here, just database.insert. Just we need to use these methods. Just we need to pass the data. Rest of the thing automatically taken care by the Salesforce. Let's say if you see here, what is the advantage of the why? So I would say compared to Java, Apex is simple beans. In the Java, what we need to do here, if you want to store the database, we have to register the driver. We need to establish the connection to the database. A lot of things are involved in the Java. But see here in the Apex Salesforce, they have simple methods. They are providing simple methods inside. You don't need to worry about the database correcting. all these things. Just simply you are using the methods. We are doing everything. Okay,
Yes, sir.
got it or not? Yeah. If you see here, we have seen this method insert. If you see here, we have this is the important method also. Yeah, in interview also they will ask you while using the database class, if you want to check, if you want to respect the object field permission sharing rules, which parameter we need to use. Yeah, just you need to remember these parameters, all or none and access level. And see here, access level dot user mode and access level dot system mode. By default is system mode. You just, if you want to add it, see here, user mode. Yeah, just if you yeah, we always forget the things. If you forget this one, just come here, documentation, copy and paste it. Nothing wrong. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts here? So they have given another option also. See here, DML options. Okay, you need to read it and you need to figure out what is it. Yeah, but I don't want to explain each and everything. It will take a lot of time. I explain you this thing, insert all or none and insert access level. Just go to the documentation, just to open this method. What is this DML options and read it, understand it. Yeah. Okay. Any doubts here? But in this case, they have given lot of methods, but in the real time we are going to use the insert. See here. Now we are discussing about the query thing. It's very important. See here. Okay. So here normally we are writing the SOQL queries, but if you want to write the dynamic SOQL queries at a runtime, but here we need to use the query method. So query is also static method. See here, this query method. Here we need to pass the query as a string. You need to remember. See here, you need to pass the query as a string, but the query returns always list of S object. Here S object means it may be an account or contact, or it may be a custom object, anything. Okay. See here, what they are saying is, so this method can be used. See here, we need to use the dynamic SOQL. Can anyone tell me what is the dynamic SOQL? What is the normal SOQL? What is the dynamic SOQL? What is dynamic SOQL? Can anyone tell me? It's very important. What is dynamic SOQL?
So when we directly like simply just we want to like fetch the data from the S object, then we use static SQL. And in case of batch Apex, when there is some complex task,
Yes.
then in that case we use dynamic SQL.
Okay, yeah. See here, we already know Apex is a Apex is a object-oriented programming statical typing language. Okay. First, it will compile the code. After that, it will run the code. For the compilation, it will use the compiler. For running the code, it will use the interpreter. So we already discussed about the compilation. What is the compilation process and what is the interpretation process? We already know interpreter will line by line only. Compiler, it takes the whole entire code and it compiles and each and everything. So compilation means it check the syntax, whether we are using the right class, right keywords, we are passing the right parameters. Compilation, we are putting the semicolon or not. Everything, this is a compilation process. Yeah. If you see a dynamical SOQL means if you want to run the SOQL query in the runtime. So if you want to run the SOQL query in the runtime, we will use the dynamic SOQL. I've already told you it comes under the dynamic Apex. Okay. See here, search based input, update the records, update the field names. I want dynamically form the query, The query should be useful for any object, not only specific to the account object. The query can be generic. Generic means it should be suitable for any object. Okay, so in this kind of scenario, we'll use the dynamic object. Simply what we need to do here, we need to use the database class. In the database class, we have a query method. In the query here, we need to pass the query as a string. Okay, see here, if you are using the single record, it will return the S object. But whenever we are using the string query, it is returning the multiple records. You always remember you have to use the list of S object. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, so if you see here, how to write this thing? If you see here, they are saying, so here we need to pass the query. Here we need to use the return type. Okay, if you see here, how to write this thing? So here I am creating a file. Right click, new file. Okay, something dsql test.apex. Okay, here what we need to do is here, first of all, I am preparing the query. Scr equals to, see here I am writing select id comma name from account. So here we need to prepare the query as a string. Okay, so after that, if you see here I am using the database dot, see here we have a lot of methods. Here I am using the query. Okay, query, see here we have here also access level, and if you see here we have a query with the binds, queries, bind mapping. So when we are learning the batch Apex, then we will learn what is the query locator, what is the get query locator. Yeah, we will discuss those things. Here we have a count query also. But as of now, just go with the basic thing, query. Okay, here I need to pass the str. If you see here database.query, it is returning the list of records instead of the multiple records. So here this always return type is see here list of S object. Okay, so here you can write like we already know the S object. The S object is the account. Simply here I am using something ACC list. Okay, in this way here we need to write the use this. So whenever we run this snippet, okay, this query will run in the runtime, not the compile time. It will run in the runtime. By we are using the query method, it will run this query. It will return the data in this variable. Okay, so if you want to check the size of the record, see here I am using system.debug. See here I am saying ACC size. Okay, concatenation ACC list dot size. Here I am using that size method. See here, if I run this snippet, let me clear the console. Command Shift P. So execute anonymous. If you see here, in our R, we have 23 accounts. Okay, if you want to traverse this accounts list, and if you want to update and something, we already know we have to use which one. If you want to traverse the list, which one we have to use? Which one we have to use? We already know we have to use the for loop. Am I correct or not? Yeah. So all the records are stored in the list. If you want to traverse the list, we will use the list. So based on the requirement, we can update the data and something, whatever you want. So here we need to write the query like this, database.query. Any doubts here? Tomorrow I will show you how to write the query, how to write the append the conditions, how to append the fields dynamically. Okay, I will show you those things here. You need to remember database.query we will use in the dynamic SOQL only. Okay, what is the dynamic SOQL? Dynamic SOQL is we need to prepare the query as a string and we need to pass that query to the query method. This method is available in the database class. But as of now, I didn't show you the conditions and everything. This is very important method, query string. And if here you can specify the access level also. If you want to, by default, it is run the access level dot system mode. If you want to run this query in the user mode, simply specify that. We already know access level dot user mode. Okay. And see here, this is very important method. In the real time also, we will use the query with the bind. See here, query string, access level. Another parameter is the bind map. If you see here, uh, we will discuss tomorrow this thing. Yeah, okay. Tomorrow I will wrap this thing, database methods. Okay. We discussed about the insert. We have a update and delete and query. These are all important methods. Any doubts here? Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay. This thing is very important. Okay, bind thing. Okay, in the real time we will use this thing. See here we are using the bind parameters. Okay, we already know access dot user mode. Okay, yeah. Tomorrow we will go in depth related to this one. Yeah. And we will discuss the rollback and save point also with examples. I didn't show you the example. Okay, but tomorrow we'll see the rollbacks and save points, how to create the save point, how to roll back to the save point with a practical example. Yeah, because interview they will ask you these questions also. Yeah, what is the save point and what is the rollback? It's very important thing. Okay, you need.
Okay.
So these are the database. Okay, next topic is, so these are the atomic transactions. Can anyone tell me what is atomic transaction?
Sir, atomic transaction are those
Atomic,
if you
what,
pardon?
atomic transaction. What is atomic transaction? What is atomic transaction? It's a very important. What is atomic transactions?
Sir, if you do the email operation of the bulk of 200 records, more than it means bulk of record.
Okay.
If the record is a fail to insert, any one of them record is insert, the whole record, whole the transaction will be rolled back.
Yes.
In-
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So atomic transactions means, see here, I already told you Salesforce will consider DML as a transaction, single transaction. Whether you are inserting the single record or whether you are inserting the bulk records, not only insert, we already know DML means insert, update, delete. It treats as a transaction. We already know. Even we are inserting, see here bulk records. It's considered as a single transaction. For each individual insert, it won't consider as a single transaction. The whole insert records is considered as a transaction, normal transaction. But coming to the atomic transaction means, see here all the DML operations, okay, it will consider as a, how we can say atomic transaction means, it will, we will get the desired output, like whether it is a success or an error. Okay, it means if it is a success, all the records are permanently saved into the database. If an error, entire transaction should be rolled back. No data is committed to the database. Okay, so that is called atomic transaction. See here how we are saying atomic transaction means, here transaction can be happen from the trigger also, transaction can be happen from the class method also, or transaction can be happen from the execute anonymous window also, anything, Apex page also, or we are calling the some web service also. So these are the different mechanisms. In this all scenarios, so Salesforce will apply the atomic transaction. So behind the scenes background, so Salesforce is what it is doing. It is making some mechanism that is called the atomic transaction. In the, I already told you, it's a single unit of operations. Okay, see here, there is a class or trigger, the code running in the transaction boundary only. See here, they have given the example also. See here, we are doing some chain of operations. What means we have written a custom, see here, a custom Apex web service method. In the custom Apex web service method, we are calling a method. In this method, we are doing some DML operations. So in this case, what will happen? All changes are committed to the database. When all the changes are coming to the database, after all operations in the transaction finish execute, we means it doesn't having any errors. Suppose let's take if any error happens, what it will do? Intermediate step, okay, database changes are rolled back. The transaction is not committed. So this is called atomic transaction. Okay. Can anyone tell me a real-time example? What is the atomic transaction? What is the atomic transaction? Can anyone tell me real-time example? Yeah, if you see here, just to take the simple example, you are doing the banking transaction, you are sending the amount to someone. Middle of the transactions, so failure happens. At the time, what we need to do, we need to roll back. Roll back means whatever the amount is deducted from your account, I mean sender account, we need to roll back that amount. Am I correct or not? That is called
Atomic transaction.
atomic transaction. So you need to understand the difference also. What is the transaction, atomic transaction? Atomic transaction means, see here, you are sending the data from sender to the receiver. The transaction is success. The amount, whatever you are sending the amount, that should be deducted from the sender. The amount you are sending to the receiver, that amount credit to the receiver. This is the atomic transaction. In case the failure is happened, what we need to do here, we need to roll back that amount. We don't want to deposit that amount to the receiver because in the middle of the transaction, the failure happened. It may be the network issue, some other issue, whatever. Okay. So automatically what we need to do, the transaction should be rolled back. Roll back means whatever the amount you are sending, that amount should be credited to your account, sending account. So that is called atomic transactions. Okay, we need okay. So this is also interview point of question. What is the atomic transaction? Just you need to remember this example. It's a simple thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any doubts here? So after that, we will discuss about the exception handling. Also, it's very, very important, exception handling. Yeah. After that, we are going to the this one, object-oriented programming. We left the interfaces and we left the inheritance and everything. We are going to discuss inheritance and interfaces. It's very, very important. Yeah. Okay. Any doubts here? Can we end the session? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Bye then. Okay. Catch you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.
Hello.